not only did you say all that, you expressed that you also use that language at work.
I grabbed that on the neck, and I was like, come here, you and oh my God, like I felt like the world just stopped. Like it was just peace.
And how you were going to take those feelings with you the next day to take it out on the next black person. The reality is, when you choose a job like that, your words carry weight, even when you're off the clock.
This Ashley Gonzalez situation has sparked some really weird commentary online that I'm seeing, particularly with the Latinos that say we stand with Ashley Gonzalez, or what happened to free speech, and since when did admitting to racial profiling and abusing a person just because of their race become free speech? I mean, yeah, it is free speech, but we also have the free right to issue you a punishment for said speech. I saw a really weird take from a Latino lady where she was like, Latinos in America need to unite because of this situation over the last like 2 or 3 days. Latinos have been being attacked online, and how, you know, this is really an eye-opener to how they really feel about us.
One thing I noticed about this Ashley Gonzalez little racist rant that she went on that nobody's talking about, she posted that video on her close friends. That flew over some of y'all heads. She posted that video in her close friends on Instagram. Now, if you go on my page, then you already know. I speak positivity, and I speak about the Lord, and I speak about my life. But one thing I am, and one thing I will always be, is a realist, and I'm going to keep it real. I live in reality. People don't like us. Some of our own people don't like us. Africans don't like us. Whites don't like us. Hispanics don't like us. And I don't even know why y'all don't like us, because half the time we ain't even bothering y'all. But whatever your reason is for not liking black people, I feel like you need to take that up to the Lord in prayer and just leave us alone, because we ain't bothering y'all. Y'all love to stereotype us as if we are the only race that's out here just wrongdoing in the world, when every race does wrong. Every race commits crime. Every race have good and bad, not just blacks.
Girl, with this whole Ashley Gonzalez case, I'm just like, before any Latinos or Hispanics get in my comments about, oh, it's not all of us, and it's not, yeah, I know it's not all of you. That's like, you know, I know, I'm Latina, and I know it's not me, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we need to hold our people accountable. I live in Texas, okay? It's undeniable. It's undeniable. You come here to Texas, Latinos are using the word left and right, and I mean hard ER, and they say a lot of ignorant things about black people. They disrespect black people, all while trying to be black most of the time. I feel like here in the United States, we associate blackness with coolness, and a lot of Latinos that are not black, because there is black Latinos, but there's a lot of non-black Latinos and non-black Hispanic people that try to be a part of black culture and black community without actually liking black people.
So I've seen a lot of discourse online about the Hispanic and Latino community and about this Houston cop, Ashley Gonzalez. First of all, a trash human being. But the black community coming out and calling out the Hispanic and Mexicans for being racist, they're absolutely right. Some of the first people that I saw in my life that were racist were Mexican people, were my own family members as a child. And as a child, I couldn't understand why we as Mexicans would hate somebody that was only a few shades darker than us. Like, that never made sense to me.
Ashley Gonzalez reminds us of the anti-blackness, colorism, and racism towards black people that exists in our communities. Not only is this about condemning the actions of Ashley Gonzalez and all of her hateful racist comments, it is about holding our friends, our family members, and other people in the community accountable. Do you know of any of your family members or friends who casually use the N-word? Are you doing anything to stop them? Are we continuing the erasure of Afro-Latinx and Black Latinx people in our communities? Are we holding ourselves accountable for the anti-blackness and racism towards black people that exists in Latinx, Latina communities? Are we forcing other Latinx, Latina creators to speak out against the racism clearly displayed by Ashley Gonzalez?
Thank you for doing that. People get upset when people go on racist rants or find out somebody is bigoted or something. I personally would much rather know what kind of person I'm dealing with. If you have a prejudice against a group of people based on whatever, whether it's skin color, religion, let me know now so that I can know where I stand. Because the last thing I want is to be in a situation Where I am in need of help, I call the police. You come, you are called to protect and serve. You take one look at me, you see my black skin, and you've already decided that you hate me and that you want to make my life harder.
Protesters gathered outside Houston Police Headquarters, demanding Officer Ashley Gonzalez be fired, not allowed to quietly resign. And that matters because people believe anything less would be the department protecting racism instead of punishing it. The anger outside the building was not vague, and it was not symbolic. People showed up with one message: she has to go. Not transferred, not quietly pushed out, not handed some backdoor resignation deal that lets the system avoid saying what this is. In the eyes of the protesters, a person who could speak about the black community like that has no business wearing a badge in Houston. And the pressure was not aimed only at the department. The crowd also turned directly to Houston police leadership and the union, making it clear that this cannot become another case where a fired officer gets carried back through an appeal. They want the chief to use his authority and terminate her. They want the union to do something almost unheard of and refuse to represent her at all. That is what makes this bigger than one officer. The protesters are framing it as a test of the whole institution. Because once a badge is seen as something given by the community, not owned by the department, then keeping that badge on someone accused of this kind of conduct starts looking like a betrayal of the people it is supposed to protect. So the real question now is not whether people are angry. That part is obvious. The real question is whether Houston PD is going to draw a line in public, or try to handle this quietly and prove every protester right.
So ladies and gentlemen, I'm trusting that you're doing well today, and this is just intriguing in so many ways. So basically, you've seen that officer who has been relieved of duty in Houston because he had some really bad comments about the black people, and she even films and say, or rather she just says like she doesn't like it, like openly. She doesn't even care the type of work she does, which means she gets to interact with a lot of people, just, oh my God, that is really shocking. And I'm coming to understanding whereby a lot of people up to this time are still asking why black people would mention slavery. Black people will be like, we were enslaved. It's only few people who understand what slavery took from the black people. It means that slavery took away the whole entire history of somebody. It wiped basically where they came from. It wiped what they believed in and so on. And you haven't gone deeper to know what happened between that exodus of slavery, like taking slaves from Africa to parts of Europe, to parts of the USA, to part of Asia and all that. There's a lot that really happened in those boats, because during those times, people were using boats, or rather sea, or rather water, as a means of transport. And you can tell that when they were taking people, they used to pile them like goods. So that means there's a lot of lives which were lost. And remember, you are in this boat and you see somebody being dragged and thrown into the sea. That is what slavery took away from people, guys. If you don't know, this is a story that you have to be sensitive. You have to be really cautious when you're talking about it. And still people would ask, like, why are we talking about this? We are talking about this because people are trying to retract. People are trying to get to know where they came from. And people are trying to tell you, this is what we endured. This is what happened. And it's so very out of this world when somebody who has been trusted with a public office to be able to have such comments. It breaks my heart. It does. Yeah, it does. And people have normalized systemic racism. People have really normalized systemic racism to a point that it's nothing to them. It's like, that is what happens. Take it or leave it. If you want, you can cry, something like that. So this officer has been filming about it and posting. So if she's able to do that, what has she done maybe to other people? You can tell, or rather you can just begin to imagine that what will happen. Like, I don't know what's your opinion towards this, because this is just not the only person, or rather you know. And when you check my video, guys, I've always communicated my first video about the Hispanic and Asian and, you know, the black people. There's a lot of similarities that we share in terms of cultures, even food and all that. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here once again. Just in case you're new here, my name is Yvonne. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much. My new subscribers, you're welcome to being part of my online family. Let me know on the comments below, what do you think? Or rather, maybe if you have experienced something like this, or maybe at your workplace, because I hear people still go through like a lot in terms of, you know, silent racism, you know. Until next time.